Welcome to Great Principals, sir and ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
To all my viewers, there is a surprise package in this episode. This school that is being featured today, the very Rustomjee International School, is something very dear to me because it's the alma mater of my husband, and I can undoubtedly say today that school and teachers have make a person for what they are, and I take pride in saying that my husband and his siblings are one of the few learned people in my life and very grounded. That is what this school have made them. So this credit goes to his teacher, Mr. Viraf sir. He used to teach him earlier. And sir, like here, I am thrilled talking about, and all my viewers also, we have one small surprise for you. There are so many people who want to pay tribute to you, but we could accommodate only few. So here, I would request Vishal. Vishal, could you please share the screen?
Hi, I am Dilshad Jalnawala, and I passed out from Rustomjee my 10th standard in 1998. Viraf sir used to teach us economics then, and I'm really thankful to him for everything that he has taught us. And also, I take this opportunity to thank Utokshi Pesuna ma'am, Viraf sir, and the entire team of teachers and non-teaching staff at the Rustomjee School for imparting to us the most important aspects of life, that is good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. Thank you very much. I am what I am because of my school. So, thank you.
Hi, I am Dr. Aditya Jagirdar. First of all, I hope Viraf sir is very safe and healthy. So I still remember my school days. It was 12 years back when I passed my 10th. But right from 1st standard to 10th standard, I always admired Viraf sir. He was very strict with the discipline, but at the same time, he was also lenient wherever needed. He was cool at times wherever it was needed. I still admire all of the lessons I learned in my school life, which I learned most of them from Viraf sir. And I hope, Viraf sir, you always stay healthy and safe. That's it. Thank you so much for giving me all those values in my life, adding all these values in my life, which are helping me now also in my career as well as my life. So thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Komal. I passed out from Rustomjee School in the year 2002. It's been almost 20 years, but the teachings and memories of my school are still intact and fresh in my mind. Viraf sir, you taught me one of the biggest virtues of life, which is self-discipline, through the rules and regulation you laid out in school. You gave us the most amazing teachers. I feel honored to reconnect with school through the Young Chefs Cooking Program. Thank you for believing me and giving me this opportunity to be cooking teacher at the Rustomjee International School. Yasmin, you're such a wonderful person. The way you are leading the school, your conduct with the students and staff is very inspiring. Pesuna ma'am, you're one of the most graceful and the best principal I've ever known. So thank you everyone. I will always be grateful to my school. I'm sure Rustomjee School will always shine with such visionary, dedicated and amazing leaders. Thank you Seema for giving me this opportunity to express my gratitude towards my school. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kautik Baldi. Completed my education at Rustomjee in the year 2001. After that, I completed my Masters in Electronics from RMIT University, Melbourne, Australia. Currently into the business of manufacturing of pulses. It's been a surreal experience of 13 years at Rustomjee. I am able to relive those days because both of my kids are at Rustomjee. Viraf sir has been there since then. The aura he carries is so influential. The way he motivated us and encourages us not only in academic but even in the other cultural activities, especially sports, the area of my expertise. After completing my education at Rustomjee, I realized I was more confident, self-dependent and able to face the challenges of the world with a smile on my face. I want to thank all the teachers and the management at Rustomjee helping me build myself. Thank you, Team Rustomjee.
The influence of a great principal can never be erased. Hello, myself Mrs. Rachna Kule. First of all, thank you, sir. Whatever I have learned in this school is contradictory in its own way. Sir, you taught me to fall gazillion times, but also to never forget to cushion your fall and get up. Can't be happier about my daughter studying from the same school as me. Proud Rustamjian today and forever. Thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Shweta Sonar. I run a play school and activity center in Jalgaon. Me and my husband are both ex-Rustamjians and we are very proud of being students of Rustamji. My daughter Bhumi is also a current student of the school. In our times, Tokshi ma'am, the senior principal, Pesna ma'am was our principal and she was a gem of a person. She is a gem of a person. Her best quality was that she could remember the name of each and every child by heart. Not even the students, she also remembered all the parents as well. That's a great quality I feel for a teacher or a principal. Virav sir then used to teach us civics and he was a great tutor. He was a very strict and a very disciplined person, a very disciplined teacher. But as disciplined or as strict or stern he may look, he was very caring and a giving person. I remember enjoying with him during all our trips, be it field trip, be it picnics, school picnics. We would really enjoy. We would sing together, we would dance together. I enjoyed playing Antakshari with him because there always used to be girls versus. I am a real proud Rustamjian and I am a very satisfied parent as well. And this is all because it has great principals like Tokshi ma'am, Virav sir, Kashmira ma'am, and now again Yasmin. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, myself Priyanka Manwad. I am a lecturer by profession and a home baker by passion. It is rightly said that to teach is to touch a life forever, and such has been the influence of my principles. About Virav sir, talking about his qualities, he has the eye of an eagle and would catch and check the tiniest errors. Also, without speaking a word, he would just look in your eyes and gets you to behave well. He has that charismatic personality. Strong leadership is the foundation of any school's success. And without you, that would not, sir. Our principal Pesna Miss has always that beautiful and caring smile. She is one of the most kind-hearted and compassionate human beings I have ever met. Yasmin, you're so young and doing so well. Yasmin puts her heart, mind and soul to nurture students. She encourages children and gives them opportunities to excel not only in academics but also other activities. Yasmin, you handle everything with so much of grace and enthusiasm and never fails to keep with the ever-evolving landscape of education. Kashmira Miss, I remember I did a baking workshop in school and Kashmira Miss gave me a handwritten note appreciating my work. I felt so good and touched, and of course I will treasure that note forever. I feel very fortunate and proud that I'm an ex-student of Rustamji School, and now my daughter is also studying in the same school, and I'm a very happy and satisfied parent. I would like to thank all my principals, Kutoksi ma'am, Virav sir, Kashmira Miss, and Yasmin for giving me all the opportunities, appreciation, and love. What I am today, I owe it to you all. Thank you very much.
So, see, this is the love which everyone has when when someone send their children to the school, they always want the best school. And when ex-Rustamjians are sending their own kids to the school, that school definitely had something really very different to cherish and talk about. So this was, there were so many more students, but even I had the bandwidth to feature few. So this is from each and every Rustamjian for you. And this entire episode is a tribute to you.
Yes. And I would like to thank all my students also who have said such wonderful words for me. Thank all of you. Thank you all of you so much.
So I've seen my entire family do this all my life, and I see how much it means to them. So sorry for getting a little emotional, but thank you to everybody who got featured in the video and said such beautiful words for us. Thank you so much.
So, sir, I would like to begin with my very first question to you. Rustomjee was founded by your mother, Ms. Topsy Pasona, in 1980. We would like to know from you and hear from you where it all began, the founder's story, the journey of Rustomjee.
Well, as you said, the journey started in 1980. My mother was a teacher in New English Medium School, Jalgaon, and she also used to take classes at home. At that time, my grandfather was alive. Grandfather's name, Rustomjee Jaleja Katak, in whose name the school is there. He used to every time speak to my mother, keep on encouraging her, and told her, when you are so good at mentoring and teaching kids, why don't you start a school of your own? So after giving it a thought, my mother, through his encouragement and motivation, started the school in a small garage in our house at Jalgaon. And from there, the story began with just 6 students to more than 2,400 at the moment.
Wow. This is commendable, from just a small garage to the one of the topmost school in Jalgaon today. So big congratulations to you. So my next question goes to you, Yasmin here. With you came the new age management, and you brought in the school the very much happiness question. So how do you make a happy school, and how HQ contributes in developing IQ and EQ?
Okay. So first of all, I would like to say that I could see my dad get very emotional watching the video, because I think the best part about our profession is the satisfaction we get at the end of the day, that we've touched so many lives. And now coming back to the question. So when we talk about the happiness quotient, I think it's very simple, it's very basic, because we talk about how happy a student is, how happy a parent is, how happy the teachers are teaching, how happy we as leaders are leading everybody in school. So with happiness quotient, I think it drives IQ and EQ together. And I think gone are the times when we say IQ is more important than EQ, because everybody is realizing how equally important IQ and EQ is. So I think with regards to the happiness quotient, we didn't have to do anything major, but just to make sure that our students, our parents, our teachers are happy at the end of the day. So just by making sure that they feel they are a part of the school, making sure the teachers are involved in decision making, the parents are involved in decision making, the students are asked of what they want to do in class, made sure what their mood is in class. Our teachers are used to asking students, how are you feeling today? Do you feel like studying? If you don't, let's go play something. So just I think increasing the accessibility and the communication we had with students, we could bring in that factor. We came up with a lot of other ideas to increase these activities. And with activity, as the activities increased, I think the engagement that we had from the student side also increased, and that led to our happiness quotient being where it is today.
Rightly said by you, Yasmin. When a student is happy, they automatically are more envisaged to learn, and they yearn to learn. And even for a parent, there is no bigger delight than seeing the children saying, "Bye, Mama, I'm ready to go to school," and they're not crying for the toddler and the younger ones. Right. So going ahead, sir, Viraj, so this question is for you. There has always been a belief in the Rustomjee about having a clear vision of your school. So how do you ensure founder's vision is being executed in the right direction by your team? How do you guide them?
See, having a clear vision, it has a clear motivational effect on all the members within the organization. And it is very important, because in times of difficult or stressful times, it keeps on reminding us why we started the school. So for that reason, we keep on motivating our teachers, inspiring our teachers, through motivational posts on Facebook, Instagram, on the walls, in the staff room, having team building events with the teachers, seminars, workshops. So all the time we keep on reminding them why we are here. And as Yasmin said, the happiness of the kids when they come to the school is more important than whatever academics is been taught to them. If the child is happy, the child will learn. And as our vision clearly states, we have to create a generation of kids who has and who will continue the love of learning in future. So that is very important. So for that reason, we have team building activities, motivational, workshops, seminars. Along with that, we share success stories. We share positive feedbacks of the parents with our teachers and constantly treat them as a family member. They are not just professionals in our school. Being a part of a family makes us more comfortable within the organization. So for this reason, we have to keep our teachers also happy along with the students so that all the time in their head and in their minds, the vision is very clear, and along with that only we can proceed. Unless all the teachers are on the same page, the vision cannot be achieved. So we have various such activities to bring them together and maintaining that the vision has to be achieved at all times.
Absolutely, sir. A wonderful school with a beautiful vision, that love for learning that should be inculcated in children. Sadly, and I don't know what is wrong with today's time. People have forgotten the very essence of education as examination. They have left behind the learning part of it somewhere behind. And sir rightly said that an organization is successful because of the team. And a team needs to have a very clear idea of what is the goal of our working, what we are working for. And sir practices these exercises in which he motivates his teacher to follow the vision, and ultimately we can see the result, the way Rustomjee is growing, and many more pages are going to be added to this legacy school. So going ahead, my next question is for you, Yasmin ma'am. A school, as sir rightly said, that a school is, our teachers are the one who carry further our vision. So school is known by teachers, and Rustomjee is known to have one of the best teachers. So how do you select and retain your teachers?
So we have a highly qualified workforce and they've been trained to be the best. We want our teachers to make a difference and create a very happy space for our students to learn, because it's very easy for you to come and teach, but it takes a bigger heart and a greater passion to take the responsibility of a child's learning. Whether the child has learned what you have taught is more important than how you've taught in class and what you're teaching in class. So we have a fairly good inflow of teachers, and they're trained throughout the year to various platforms. Probably for subject training, we have say a lot of seminars and workshops that are conducted, or we have a lot of meetings wherein we discuss about how we could include more extracurriculars in our classrooms to increase participation, student engagement. And at the end of the day, our teachers are a part of Rustomjee because as a team, we provide results that keep us motivated and encouraged.
So I think, here Yasmin ma'am has brought up one very big message here, that rather than just giving orders, why don't you make the team the part of decision making, and then everyone takes it as a responsibility. And that is, something really, really wonderful and a very beautiful concept of retaining your teachers, training them and guiding them constantly. So here we move to our next question, and my next question is for Virav sir. Sir, we have seen that there is a lot of focus on sports in Rustomjee. So how do you implement a sports integrated education and skill development programs in your school?
See, it's very important building a bridge between education and sports. As you rightly said, that nowadays parents are more concentrated on the studies part, academics part. And I don't blame them for it, because the culture of education, what we have in higher education, where marks are required, merit is required, the cutoff percentage is so high. Definitely marks are important. So that's the reason parents are a little bit more anxious about seeing to it that their child secures better marks, better grades, and better percentages. So definitely it's important, but at the same time, to see that the child succeeds in academics, sports is equally and most important. Because with sports, the child develops confidence, leadership skills, managing around with others, collaborating, and ultimately influencing others through the skills. For that reason, we have integrated sports in our curriculum. We have fitness classes, fitness clubs. We have yoga for the students. We have early in the morning, in the first lecture itself, warm-up exercises, regular weekly sports classes, inter and intra sports events, and then after school sports classes also are there. So through this, the sports is integrated into the academics and curriculum of the school. When we talk about skill, the other part of it, along with sports, now skills are very important for kids because I think it should be made compulsory in a school education, because without learning these skills, the child can struggle in real world responsibilities and challenges. I'll give you an example. We need to see that the child has the capacity to manage disappointment and pressure. Today, the child is not ready to accept that he or she has failed. No, failure is very much important to succeed. Without failure, success is not there. You cannot achieve success without failing once or twice or number of times. We have seen so many people with their failures, they are successful today. So these skills are necessarily important in the kids. Imaginative skills, creativity skills, collaboration skills, confidence building skills, communication skills. So for these reasons, we have workshops, we have seminars, we have competitions, we have TED Talks, we have expert talks. Experts in the respective fields, we invite them to school, they speak to the kids of the real life experience, what they have experienced and how through their experiences they have succeeded, because it acts as a motivation for these kids. Along with that, then we have other various activities, clubs, which definitely Yasmin is looking after that. Clubs, we have entrepreneurship clubs, then we have Model United Nations Club, we have debating society, we have toys clubs, to teach our youth science. We have robotics clubs, we have theater clubs, we have cooking club, we have dance club. So all these clubs together, then only the holistic development of a child is possible. So through these ways, the skills can be achieved along with sports in a child's life.
Wonderful, sir, implementing and integrating so many different aspects and developing a child holistically that is what a true vision of the school, and that is what even a parent, when they give out their most precious investment, that is their own children to you, they look for, and that is what Rustam ji is standing on this pillar, that develop a child holistically. And I really like that part of you, that how sports bring out so many qualities in a student, in a child, and develop him team building, collaboration, learning from their own failures and then standing back again. So definitely, sports and life skills are something very, very important. And we have seen a perfect blend of this at Rustam ji. And yes, Yasmin ma'am is taking it further and making it better and better every day. So now going ahead with Yasmin ma'am, as sir said that ma'am is looking after many clubs. So here I would also like to tell you something about, there is a committee called Sunshine Committee and Gamification of Learning, which is a very unique program introduced by Yasmin ma'am. So what changes, ma'am, do you see in the academic performance of the children and students through this fun learning program?
So we at Rustam ji are on a mission to make our students great leaders. Everyone has a unique way of being, a unique way of thinking, a unique way of acting. So here in school, we don't intend to change a child's personality, but to polish the skills the child already has so that we could bring out a little bit of finesse. So we want to make them capable and happy leaders who are, in the future running successful organizations. So I wanted to enable learning through various other forms than just classroom learning. And as a result of Sunshine Committee and gamified learning, our student percentage and performance ratios have improved, our parent participation has improved, and we see a very positive change in the way kids are perceiving knowledge.
We all are talking these days a lot about experiential learning, and that is what Yasmin ma'am is practicing since long in her school. So this a lot of we are hearing these days, especially after the pandemic, the importance of skill, experiential, and giving the children the life skills lessons. So you already had that vision with you.
As a result, also, it's no longer forced. You cannot force education or learning for a child, irrespective of however qualified your teacher or however beautiful your infrastructure or the way your classroom setting is. If a child does not want to learn, the child will not learn. So when it's given, your information is given to the child in a way he is ready to perceive it, it's no longer forced. It's no longer a one-way communication. It's when the child is willingly coming to school to learn.
Absolutely. So making learning fun, that is what is the more mojo of ma'am here. And yes, children enjoy what is being presented to them in a gamified manner. So a beautiful, beautiful concept developed by ma'am. And ma'am, is this concept exclusively for Rustomjee School, or you'd like to share with other schools if they want to?
See, at the end of the day, it's the students, and it's just not Rustomjee. So for whoever wants to have another Sunshine Committee and another gamified learning, we would be more than happy to talk to you and tell you how we work that out in school so that everybody else can make a difference in all the students' lives.
Lovely. So here, ma'am is also very much in favor of empowering all the other schools with this beautiful concept of gamification learning. So
that is the future. When educators don't empower ourselves, we have to empower ourselves and our fellow educationists as well. So unless and until we come together, it's just not going to create any kind of a difference, and no change is going to come around. So it's just about sharing and learning from each other.
Absolutely. And that is what is, that is what builds a new generation of great leaders, when we empower each other and share what we have. Definitely. So going ahead, ma'am, sir, this question is for you. As all the parents and all the ex-Rustomjians already spoke about how they are so proud to be one, which is the accomplishment you are most proud of in your journey?
Over the years, whatever I have achieved and what I feel proud of is that mentoring tomorrow's leaders. That's what I'm really proud of.
Definitely, sir. And so, every student names you as a strict and a very disciplined person. So what is this, why a principal leader or, a teacher needs to be strict when Yasmin has a concept of gamification and fun learning and you being a strict? So how does this blend works out?
Discipline in life is very important because you need to manage not only time, but people also. So time management and people management is both equally important. And for that reason, at times we have to have a balanced personality. One way we have to be strict with the kids also. One way we have to be a little bit lenient to them also. So it's like counseling them also, mentoring them also. Both ways we have to work.
Absolutely, sir. We can imagine with only 2 kids in the house, we go mad if we are not strict. And you're handling, 2,500 students, so you need to have a balance of both. Coming to you, Yasmin ma'am, you are so young, energetic. The world was open for you. Then why did you opted to continue with this carry on your family legacy, and you joined the team of Rustomjee?
Okay, so I have been one of the lucky ones who have seen schooling through 3 different dimensions. I have been a student, I have been a teacher, and now I'm a part of the management, all in Rustomjee. So for us in our home, it's like a third sibling. Being a school leader has made me realize the difference I can create in this world. And I've seen my family do this all my life. I used to help my parents when I was young, and their passion has driven my passion. So we all at Rustomjee are very passionate about what we do, and I feel this is what I'm meant to do. We are accountable for thousands of students and their lives, and I consider myself extremely lucky to be in a position where I get to touch students' life and help them every single day of my life. There couldn't be a nobler profession than being an educationist at this point of time.
And Yasmin ma'am, here you are also inspiring so many parents out there. We have always heard and sons, and with you now it will be suffixed like and daughters. So it's a very proud feeling for all the girls out there that, even the daughters are the part of family legacy now. And I'm sure, sir, Yasmin ma'am is fulfilling this requirement to the fullest. She's one of a son now in the face of a daughter.
more than that.
Thank you so much.
So now on this note, we reach to the very, very interesting segment of this show, which is called rapid fire round. Sir and ma'am, you need to answer only in one word. So this one is for you, sir. Describe your leadership style in one word.
Leading change.
All right. Yasmin ma'am, name a school principal you admire the most.
Oh, there's so many. But currently, it has to be Gina Hubbard. She's the principal for Greenberg Elementary School, Pennsylvania.
All right. Viraf sir, virtual or classroom learning, what is more effective?
I would prefer blended learning, where part of virtual learning and classroom learning will be blended together.
Definitely, and blended is that is what is looking to be the future of education now. We can't go away with virtual learning forever.
True.
Going ahead, Yasmin ma'am, top 3 qualities that make a successful school.
First has to be every single individual in school, the teacher, the school leader, the principal, everybody needs to have high expectations from all the students, irrespective of their socioeconomic status. Second would be flexible curriculum. We need to work our curriculum depending upon what is the child's requirement. And the third, I feel, and the most important thing is to have a can-do mindset. There should be nothing that could stop a school leader or a principal from achieving. So I think the mindsets need to change, and that need to be one of the most important factors. We can do it and we will do it should be the mindset.
Definitely, and even schools help children to know that what they think that they can be and where they actually can be. So this what is can be achieved only when once the school leaders have these 3 qualities as mentioned by ma'am. Going ahead, sir, Viraf sir, you have been into education since decades now. What is one thing which is missing in today's generation?
I would say tenacity.
So being tenacious is something missing in today's generation as per sir. And Yasmin ma'am, one aspect of traditional education that should not change.
That should not change. Human touch, which is only possible through in-classroom teaching. I think that is the most important thing that that leads to children learning better, and also the thing that students are missing right now the most.
Definitely, the human touch. We all are social people, and what the bond that teachers shares when students are present in front of them, that emotional connect that happens is not, it is happening, but not as much as it was where during the physical classrooms. So now just, something out of this, we are trying to make this conversation a little lighter, and some 2-3 more, rapid fire questions to you. This one was for Sir Viraf sir, for you. Cafe latte or adrak wali chai? What is your flavor?
That's a very difficult question. But anyway, I prefer adrak wali chai.
Adrak wali chai. And for you, Yasmin ma'am?
I think that would also be the adrak wali chai. My dad is actually really good at making chai, so I think I've gotten that addiction from him.
Wonderful. Bollywood, Hollywood, or Tollywood? What resonates with you guys? Viraf sir, for you first.
Well, all 3 have an impact.
All 3 have an impact. So which is your favorite movie then?
It's difficult to see at the moment, but I like where a person gets challenged. And those type of movies I like the most.
All right. And for you, Yasmin ma'am?
I think for me, it's going to be all the way Bollywood. I'm a very Bollywood person, and I'm known as a drama queen of my group. So I think I'm more suited for Bollywood.
So here the last segment, last question of this round. So so Viraf sir, what do you prefer, a pani puri or an Italian lasagna?
Oh, definitely pani puri.
All right. And for you, Yasmin ma'am?
I think I would have to go with lasagna.
All right.
That is my go-to.
So what it was so very, very exciting to know you in this segment, know both of you, some habits and some likings we touched here. So moving ahead on this note only, Viraf sir, we would like to know from you, when you're not working, what are the hobbies or sports you are involved in, and how do they help you?
Well, out of my work, I watch movies, I listen to music, whether it's English or Hindi, it doesn't make a difference. Then listen to podcasts. In sports, I prefer cricket, badminton. So that's what I usually do beyond my working hours.
All right. And for you, Yasmin ma'am?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
What are the hobbies or sports you are involved in, and how do they help you, in making your work better?
So, as a child, I think my mom made us learn every single sport. As all the enthusiastic moms out there, my mom has been one. She's still one. She still wants that her children to do everything possible out there. So we were involved into every single sport. You name it, and we've learned that sport. But then over the years, I think we found our liking, and I was more inclined towards badminton. So badminton is my favorite sport. I think I really miss it now because there are times when I don't get enough time from school. So I wish I could go and play more. And my favorite hobby would be dancing, for sure. I think there are still moments, in the house when I feel like dancing and I tell my mom, chalo, let's dance today. And I take my dad, we all go outside, we're outside on our balcony, we put on our music and we just dance. So I think it's also got to do with a little bit of family connect. So dance would be that.
So we have a dancer, we have a sports player here, and it's so good to know you on this front, Virav sir and Yasmin ma'am. So now coming on to the last question of the show, which is also called Viewer's Choice question. The first question is for you, Virav sir. What is one thing that you'd like to tell the government to improve the education system and teaching profession in our country, or about the schools that you would like to tell the government?
See, over the years, the Indian education system has been criticized a lot, talked about also a lot. But the present and the current NEP, the National Education Policy, which the government is planning to bring it out, I find to many extent, the government has gone, in making certain changes in the current education system, and I find it good. They're taking into consideration the creativity of the education institutions, the culture of innovation, and a highly skilled workforce, which we will be having in future. So definitely this is going to help us.
All right. So, so sir would like to mention that we need to have the way the government has come up with the NEP, if that is implemented, definitely the change that was we all were waiting for, the very much introspection of this education system. We are all are looking forward to this, and this change would bring a very skilled force coming to the nation further. Yasmin ma'am, now coming to you, the last question, as due to COVID, the schools are closed and children are learning online, though few are struggling, and because of this, there has been an enormous learning loss. So the question here on every parent's mind is, how are we going to help the students, those who have fallen behind? What about the catch-up lessons? I really like the point where you mentioned that there is no learning and there is no loss that has happened. Yes, pandemic has taught us so many things. People have learned the skills they had, but they never explored. We all are learning, and even the teachers, they are so pro with the technology. New creativity has been unveiled because of this. So yes, definitely. And when school reopens, children are also looking forward. There would be certain resistance, but yes, as you said, we are all set. And welcome our students. On this note, here we end this session. And yes, here I would like to quote the famous saying of Mahatma Gandhi: happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. And today we had a very, very happy school here, which brings out the happiness quotient amongst all its pupils. So thank you so much, Virav sir and Yasmin ma'am, for giving us your time. And not only for schooling best, but also for sharing the best thoughts and best views with us, which would definitely inspire to our viewers out there. Thank you so much. It was really wonderful to have you both.
Thank you for having us. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.